We live, we live, we live. All right, breaking into the building. We here. So let's start this off. Shout out to everybody that's coming in. You know, thanks for the support. Everybody hit that like button. So basically, we're just gonna go over all what I did last week and try to implement some things for next week. Starting off, like I said, we got a lot going on the YouTube streets. So I try to give a little information because we have all the entertainment, we have all the news. So every now and then I sprinkle a little news and entertainment, but the main thing with me is to keep people informed. Give, like I said, this the stuff that I'm talking about is just basic information, basic knowledge. I mean, if you take the time, you can research, look it up, do the stuff yourself, or stuff you pretty much already know. But to an issue, if you want to hold yourself accountable about doing it or not doing it, it's on you. But thanks to everybody that's joining from the live-a-thon. Shout out to everybody that's in the building. I normally don't hit everybody in the chat and try to just. Uh, there we go. All right, there we go. I just normally just drop everybody links and go from there as they, well, not links, but their comments as I'm sitting here talking. If I see something and people are asking me a question, I try to engage in that. But the main thing is to keep the conversation going because sometimes I might go sidetrack and get into a whole nother conversation. So, and once again, shout out to the live-a-thon for everybody who's entering into the spots of the live-a-thon. Hope you're getting yourself out here, getting your hours in. I mean, the main thing for the live-a-thon is to make yourself known, you know, and to this standpoint that I always say when I always promote people channels. Before I had my community tab, I would always do a screenshot or a screen record of somebody's channel. And like I tell people, my thing is this: I can promote your channel, but you have to promote yourself. I can screenshot and have the perfect time where I set your video in there, and while everybody's on these different topics, I throw your topic out there, and people click and gravitate to it. Cool. If they don't, then that means work at it a little bit. Like I said, um, my channel is based on more or less the knowledge and holding yourself accountable. Not too many people gonna watch my channel due to the effects because you really have to hold yourself accountable for your actions. And like I said, to an issue, man, there's a lot of people that might come in and feel some type of way because they're not getting what they want out of the channel or out of the group. But I keep saying everything is based on you. You know, your content speaks for itself. You putting in the work, dedication. You know, I reached my 500. I believe it was a month and a half almost. But I wouldn't have got there if I wouldn't keep putting in the work. Grinding. That's the thing. People will like your channel and they'll sub to you. But the information that you provide in the content or wherever how your channel is structured, that's what keep them coming back. So I just want to start off with that. So, like I said, shout out to the people that's here. And thanks for hitting the like button, you know, sharing if need be if you want to. That's on your reflection. But like I say, the main thing is you're here and I appreciate it. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to get right into it. Shout out to the people that's coming in. And when it comes down to it, it's very simple. You know, these past couple of months, we getting into the housing market, and it's a little rough going into this market. There's a lot of people that are in here, and we're talking about just tons of issues going wrong. Things in which people hopefully can bounce back from, and there is some things that we worth planning and talking about to make our situations better. But who's going to put in the work? And that's the biggest thing within the community. Like, who's going to set the stage for things to be better, do better, and so forth. So when us having our conversations, like I say, key things are, us looking at the market. People saying right now might not be the best time to buy a house. And I still couldn't find that video that I was watching. It was on Facebook, but that base was running down all the times that he was interested in buying a house or just investing in the market. And every big time he missed it. And to an extent where it got all the way down to this present time, and it came down with the quote, when is a good time to buy a house? As of right now, honestly speaking, you're going to pay over than what the house is worth. You might be upside down when the market levels out. But the thing is, holding a house for 10, 15 years is going to even out. And the point of the rate is renting is getting more expensive. So you're going to be in a situation to where, you have to. And I just want to shout out to one person that's in the chat, Dr. Dunbar. Me and him did a video, Big Discussion 76. And this is one of 4 of his channels. And this is the main one that Dr. Dunbar tends to encourage people to look at because actually he had a discussion yesterday. I'm going to show in a minute. I actually shared on my channel the older way that I do it, and I shared on my community tab. And I'm just going to show because to an extent, I've always cut my community tab off far as people giving me the information. And I just started back getting into the community tab, and when mine was coming up just shortly. But my thing was with the community tab, it was a lot of information, to an extent. I'm already getting notifications from these panels, and I'm getting notifications from the community tab. So I was like, one had to go because my phone was pinging off the chain, and doing things in moderation, to an extent. So when I turned it back on, and the funny part is I really didn't know how to turn it back on, but I did. But like I said, shout out to Dr. Dunbar, Big Discussion 76, Science and Technology. And, going on to all the channels, you learn a lot of information from people, But like I keep saying, it's worth the conversation. A lot of people fail to realize it's literally worth the conversation to go on different channels, have discussions, and let me go ahead and make sure that everybody that's coming in, let's see, there, everybody coming in, and shout out to everybody. We have our discussions and showing, everybody love that's coming into the channels and everything else. But let me get back on it. There we go. But getting back to it, we're gonna focus. Get back on it. Oh, I have my phone over there. But getting back into it, shout out to Alonzo as well. I see him just stepped in the building. But like I was saying, the housing market is just crazy right now, and what is really our options in buying a house? Because there's going to be so many of us that are looking to buy a house. And the great thing about buying a house is, the generational wealth, passing, money down to the kids, having a situation to where we can focus on, providing for the next generation. Also, buying life insurance and, investing into things help is also. But the main thing is, if anything, that child will have somewhere to stay. According to right now, most people on average don't pay off their home. But to an extent, you can give your child a home that they're paying a, let's say, $700 mortgage on that you done had for about 20 years, and the market right now, homes at that caliber, what you have, are probably 3-4 bedroom, 3-4 bath, is going for almost 2,500 a month. Like, that is the best gift that you can give your child in general. I mean, honestly speaking, $700 a month, and on average, incomes, due to inflation, it might go up a little more, to a point where they can sustain life. Just off that housing market alone, they can sustain life. $700 a month. You know, you have a family member passes, and leave the house to the kids, leave the house to the nephew, nieces, and whomever. Because I do tell a lot of people, just because you don't have kids, that don't mean you shouldn't invest in yourself, buying a house, getting life insurance. Leave it to nieces and nephews. You know, putting money into renting is, you know, to me, it gets to a point where you start losing money. I've done it, you know, and the thing of it was, it's just the point of a situation when you're ready to buy a house in life. Everybody's not ready to buy a house. So therefore, we have situations like this where you have to rent, whether it be a rental house or renting from an apartment. But the thing is, starting off, learning budgets and everything, and learning how to do things. I'm finna go ahead and get into it, and we're gonna let's see. Should I do that first? Since I just seen Go P. See how I can do this. Okay, boom. All right. Let's sit that there. Where I'm gonna put that at? Looks like I'm gonna have to keep it home. Oh no, I can put it on the page. All right, so now I'm gonna have to get a page to where the background is not that flashy. See, move this. Oh, so I'm gonna have to just put it back down there. Yeah, but let's see if I can get to an all white page. But for the most part, actually trying to slide some things around. Okay, I can just drop everything down and go to my home screen. And then I can kind of show it from there. Whoa. Okay, so that's my resume. Let's move that out the way and slide that there. There. All right. And let's go back over here so we can slide for the share screen. And once again, like I said, shout out to everybody that's coming in. Hit the like button, all the good stuff, people say. But I'm more focused on the content, and just let it speak for itself. All right. Boom. Boom. All right. Go Professor. How you doing there, fella? And before I get started on the discussion, Sheila and Forever Lisa was focusing on some things that, hit this list. And, for the things that are hitting the list, his 9 laws of self-government, focusing on that, is key. Like I said, my thing is to actually help people focus on themselves. And when I talk about knowledge of self, it's just that, to, you being a better you, focusing on things that can help you be better in life. Because if you don't have yourself together, just like law number 9, you got to have some applied selfishness. You got to work on yourself. You got to think for you, think about you. Because if you don't, nobody. I was recently talking to one of my family members, and they put so much emphasis. Oh, I see that. Typing too fast. Thank you for knowing them. All right, there we go. You happy, sir? You, you happy, sir? But yeah, the thing is trying to get everybody to stay, you know, to work on themselves, and discipline being the first one. If you don't have discipline to get up and go to work, discipline to actually take care of yourself, discipline to lose weight, discipline to eat right. Everything falls upon the discipline in the order of which things need to be. That's the first rule of thumb. You can't make it to any other number if you don't apply. You got to have discipline to actually go through the list and apply everything. And this is self-governed for a reason, you know. And to an extent, the protection, of course, I'm just going to run down the line, but it's self-explanatory. You got to invest in you. You got to protect yourself, whether you being eating, whether you being, just holding yourself accountable, protecting yourself at all costs, putting yourself in situations, to the point we can get along with family and everything, putting them in situations, but it starts with you, you know, starts with you, then it spreads. You know, we're having these situations to where we're not even protecting ourselves. Like I said, I don't do the whole gender war thing topics because we get enough of that on different panels. But a lot of women and men don't protect themselves. They get into relationships and things, and that's your downfall. You're so invested in another person, you're not even investing in yourself. How many people have literally sat back and thought, well, this person might or might not be good for me because they so heavily invested in them. I mean, appearance is everything to a lot of people. We're visual by nature. So of course we're gonna look at people with the intention already. You know, Applied selfishness, we already talked about that. It could, and I always said it was applied selfishness. The old professor told me it was applied because it could be turned on and off. And see, that's the thing. Some people don't know how to turn that selfishness off. The what do they call them? Not ego, narcissists. You get to a point where you become a narcissist about it because it's all about you. And you got to know how to turn it on and off. You know, I mean, reading, not only just picking a book up, reading the room, reading the survey of the land, scouring, with eyesight. You can only, people look at reading as just picking up a book. Reading people, women say that all the time. I know I was in church one day, there was a situation where a guy was, kind of coming off. Yeah, I ain't gonna get into the whole story. It's funny, but he was trying to, boast up like a pastor and was saying certain things at this funeral. And the lady came behind him and she broke it down because she knew the guy was drunk and in church acting crazy. So to the extent, like the people said, she read him. Restricted number. Yeah, but she read him and everybody was, laughing about the situation because of the way the guy handled himself, and she broke him down, was like, you don't come into a church, whether it be family or friends, and confess things and you're drunk. So you already starting off on the wrong foot. And she didn't say drunk, but she got to the point where, you letting the spirits and, being intoxicated and stuff like that get to you. You still supposed to maintain your composure, because at the same time she said that this is the house of the Lord, and watch yourself how you carry yourself. But it was funny, and that was to the point where she read them, and exercise. Man, this is one of my things I struggle with now. I've always said I can always lose the weight whenever I want and how, whatever, but it don't work like that no more. Not a spring chicken, so it gets to a point where I have to do a little more, but it comes off. It's just a regiment. Shout out to Big Duke, man. A regiment of actually keep moving forward and doing the right thing, and it goes into that. And not being able to, let yourself, not being able to let yourself get away with the things you need to do in order to protect yourself. I'm gonna hurry up and go through this. Know your worth and know who you are can be interchangeable, as Gold Piece stated. That you got to know who you are and know your worth. Some people don't know the value of themselves. If you don't know the value of yourself, how can you hence take on responsibilities in a relationship because you don't know who you are? Hence, you can't take on responsibilities in life because you don't know who you are. You don't know yourself. Build something self-explanatory. You know, we've always heard about men don't build. You know, building is not just a physical thing. Mentally, being responsible. Building with your hands is not always a form of, correction. Building your character as well. See someone in the chat. Shout out to them. But just in general, building yourself. A lot of people have issue with that. A lot of people go through trials and tribulations. Plant these seeds and be patient. Self-explanatory. You plant and be patient. A lot of people don't have patience. They gotta, work on their patience. Work on their patience. Shout out to everybody that's coming in the building. You have to be patient. Have to. A lot of people just don't have time to let the what they say, the smell the flowers and hear the birds chirp, because they're such at a high velocity pace on trying to move and get around. Skip one. There we go. And that's the key thing. We have these situations we got to focus on, and so we have issue with it because why? We don't have the time. But I'm gonna come back to these. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up something else that I want everybody to take a look at. It's gonna be a video. And hopefully I can get this thing without getting this copyright strike, because you know how they be. So looks like if I get one, I just get one. But this right here is going to be a house in England. I think this is where the TV show is being produced over in England. It's called Rich House Poor House, and they're up to season 7. And right now, I'm going to show you this video of a family that pretty much, rich and poor. So yeah, let me go ahead and drop that up there for everybody, and also for myself. Fair use. Fair use. And I'm gonna be showing it back and forth, in which, because I don't want to play audio. I might just play a little of the audio just to let people hear, but more or less just a video to show actually what's going on. So let's go ahead and get started.
When it comes to money, Britain is the divided nation. The gap between rich and poor has grown by a third in the last decade and continues to widen.
Oh, man.
Poorer families.
All right, let's go back. Let's go back to YouTube. Stop it. Start it back again. Technology. What I say, Gold P, they should have never gave you old guys technology. Okay, it says share audio. So it's not on my end with that part, unless it's okay. Let's see. Audio's at 26. Turn it up a little more. Okay. Share this one. Let's go back to it.
With children are taking the hardest hit. But how much does money really matter?
Bon appetit.
Hey, StreamYard. What can we say? I be getting on you, Gold P, and look, I'm doing the same thing, but aha, I got a backup plan. Typing in my phone. Yeah, but Charles. All right, let me see. Can I get this on this? Okay, camera. Let's see if I can play something else that I was gonna play, and see if y'all can hear that, or it might just be that site. All right, so while I'm getting that together, see, can I focus some on this YouTube? I can go ahead and show some videos that I was talking about last week, basically pertaining to the situation of, me showing my receipts on how I went grocery shopping. And it was just, crazy. Like me actually spending to the degree of $500. And I'm like, how is that even, a thing? Me spending $500, excuse me, on groceries, little accessories. I think the most thing I bought was like a memory card. And that just crazy. Okay, so YouTube video works. So that means I would literally have to go to the YouTube on this to actually show this clip. It's weird because the actual clip was just showing earlier. And I see the moment, okay. Some settings, audio speed, one touch. Yep, it's not in here. I will just literally go to the YouTube. Okay, and then just play this clip. See, March 20, what did you say it was? March 21, 2021. Okay. Let's go over here to YouTube and go ahead and search for that. Okay, there's no episode. Okay, this look like it's it right here. I don't know, I might just see if I can show the trailer for it.
When it comes to money,
Okay, there it goes. I just ended up showing the trailer because I actually wanted to go ahead and get some things started. Okay, we got some more people in the building. Shout out to them that's coming in. Okay, there we go, Big Beard. All right, so like I said, let me go ahead and show this other video right here off of YouTube. Let's see which one this is. Keep that one. That one. Okay, there we go. Yeah, because this is pretty much significantly what I was talking about being house poor and, you know, getting some things together. Boom. Okay, boom. There we go. This will be the trailer for the show. Let me see if you can see it on the YouTube side. Okay, there. Extend it out. All right, let's get started.
Britain is a divided nation. The gap between rich and poor has grown by a third in the last decade, and the North continues to fall behind the South.
And it's always kind of strange that, you know, the North is always, you know, the higher echelon to the South, you know, but just looking at the houses the way they are and the type of, you know, living situation, you'll get more into it by looking.
In the southeast, the average wage is £34,000. In Yorkshire, it is 10 grand less.
I don't think there's any sort of great career jobs around here. Well, I don't know anybody that's got a great career job anyway.
Poorer families here are the hardest hit.
Bye-bye.
But how much does money really matter?
And now they're going to get into the side of, you know, the upper echelon families. Take a look at that.
Two families from opposite ends of the wealth divide are about to find out.
They're gorgeous, aren't they?
One in the south enjoying the rewards of entrepreneurial enterprise.
We live a pretty cool life. We do nice things.
The other in the north, crippled by debts of £20,000.
Our financial situation is absolutely dire.
Let's do it.
Yeah, and you see how the family is, how, you know, they're budgeting to the T. And that's the thing that I was going to show a video of Skid Row showing how people, you know, live on the street, have jobs, go to work every day. After they leave work, come home to their tent. You know, so I was just basically showing this as a good comparison to showing people who's working, you know, technically living in homes and to a degree almost can't afford them, you know, and not only are the mother and father suffering, but to an extent, the kids are suffering as well because, you know, they're along for the ride.
For 1 week, they are crossing the north-south and the wealth divide.
Oh, this is cozy.
Swapping homes,
She looks gorgeous.
budgets,
1,900. That's mental, innit?
and lives.
Keep going, keep going, keep going.
To discover if money really does buy happiness.
Yeah. And so basically, man, just self-explanatory. Getting into that situation, money do buys happiness to a certain extent because you got to also remember we need money to survive. A lot of people fail to realize that money don't make you happy. Money is a mean to actually help you sustain life. Yes, we can sustain life off of pennies on a dollar to an extent, but at what comfort level will you have with those pennies on those dollars? You know, and there's a lot of people that really don't go through the process of actually, you know, just being happy. So therefore, it's never enough. You know, when it gets to a point, money gets to be never enough. You know, and to sustain life, how are we sustaining life if we're not providing for ourselves and providing for our families? You know, focusing in on the things that really matter, you know. Okay, let me go ahead and add another screen because I want to go ahead and shout out to Alonzo. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and play this one first, just showing my screen. And then I'm gonna go over to Alonzo's video I have lined up. Okay, and for people that don't know, this is something different. I don't know if y'all know this, but this is my channel. But going into the video, like I talked about with Dr. Dunbar, big discussions right here. And with Dr. Dunbar's channel, he was focusing in. I mean, you would have to really understand like the studying. Elon was bringing out what was the device or something that can be an implant that can go into people's arms and throughout, and try to focus on things that help with the body. People have a lot of illness, and data is key. And shout out to Nicole and Engineering Cannabis for coming on and talking about those things, letting people understand the relevancy of, the data that can help the next generation. Because, brain chips. Thank you. But when it comes down to it, it's going to actually help the next generation. Even with Nicole was, breaking down the data, showing how the trials going through for medicine and back and forth, spending money on the they call it mathematician side, to where the guy will break down and run the numbers, crunch them, just make data, boom, appear. But I already have these studies and trials and everything in which people already take, into effect, and they all work together. There. And, one of the biggest things that people don't focus on, in my opinion, is eating healthy, taking care of yourself. That's not going to stop the test of time. Time waits on no one. Time, it's forever changing. But y'all go check that out. And me and Dr. Dunbar did a couple of interviews together as well, so you might want to check those out and check out his channel. Like I said, I encourage a lot of people to check out that channel particularly, because when they were having a discussion, and one of the biggest things that I kind of promote Dr. Dunbar's channel just as well as Alonzo is due to the fact, just like they were having a discussion on the channel, in this field, there are very few, seldomly, in large quantity of numbers are being represented, from the Black culture. ADOS, however many people define, this thing is loud, and be looked at to the point, that's why science and technology is needed. And shout out to Dr. Dunbar for making this channel, and, the plug of him being a writer and having big discussions. And, like I said, I'm going to promote him. I'm going to promote Alonzo and anybody to extent that has a high caliber of information that's getting out there to the people that needs to be promoted. I'm going to promote that. Alonzo as well. I always talk about Alonzo. Alonzo is going to actually have one of my videos that I'm going to show on my channel regarding that. If you see the video that I did, it was Friday, talking about, the pressures of kids. You have like the little kids graduating, look like from pre-K. But the biggest thing about that was, our kids are getting a whole lot more than what we getting. Our kids are going the distance, to an extent. Hey, look how many things we've done with our life and the things we focused on. How many people can say that, generally, when it comes down to it, your kids pretty much have a better life than you. And it's nothing wrong with that, because every generation always should have the best for it. I shouldn't be to the point where I'm at a stage in my life and me becoming a doctor and my son is just, just a bum. He don't want to do nothing. He don't want to go nowhere. Like, morals and ethics are passed down generation. You helping your kids strive to be better. Yeah, there gonna be some that fall by the wayside, but not that deep. To an extent, you can't control a person's, as Dr. Dunbar say, your attitude determines your altitude. Thanks for that quote. But when it comes down to it, you got to give more. You got to put more into life to get it. And I always say my sons, they should be at a higher place in life, as they grow. Even my two older kids, my son and my daughter, I tell them as well, focus on the key things at hand. Make life easy for you, but also keep striving to do better and be better in life, and that's a given. Every child strives to be better. Every child, strives to do better. But in a sense, we got to work on them. This is a sneak peek to next week. Me and Alonzo talked about this, and I told him my argument is I'm not invested in none of that stuff. My thing is I'm strictly going with my universal life because I did the numbers. When the housing market crashed, when 9/11 happened and so forth, I was losing money hand over fist. Lose a little thousand here. You know what I'm saying? A couple of thousand there. I ain't lost the hundreds, but I've known people that lost hundreds. I knew a guy, he lost over $300,000 when the market crashed out of his 401k. And this guy he was upset. Like he literally, him and his wife were saving. I mean, both of them have decent jobs. And this is one of my coworkers. He made about close to $3,000, $4,000 a week, like it wasn't nothing, and probably more than that sometimes. But the crazy part, when it came down to it, that hurt him. That hurt him hard. So I'm going to go get into that next week about IRAs, getting people ready for retirement. That's one of the videos I'm going to actually show towards the end of this, referring to Alonzo. Shannon, another great channel, Shannon Ross, a lot of people check him out. Shannon focused more like, a lot of people do in this space on being positive with yourself, focusing it more on the health side aspect. I went and got that spindle bike because of Shannon. He was talking about the Peloton, but Peloton prices don't run in miles. I mean, even if I had the Peloton prices, I'm like, man, all this for a bike. But I mean, that's everybody's thing. I can't get mad that people can afford it. And I probably could afford it. But the point of it is, I got, like they say, I got other fish to fry. So, I'm in the process of doing a lot of stuff. So with that being said, that's the thing, man. Having a point, knowing you stand in life and your budget. And then that goes to the next video where I spent over $500 in 3 days on my grocery bill. And it was funny because the first one was says 5/18/22. Dang, I can't pull up. I can pull it up on my phone. But I think I spent like $270 something. And the next day, the next 3 days, I spent like $248. I spent $5 some at the Publix, and I got a lot of meat. I got lamb chops. I bought lamb shoulders because the chops are always expensive and they're so small. The shoulders are actually a reasonable price, and it's still lamb. The lamb shoulders are running about, what is it, for a pack? Because I think they about a. I don't even think I have none in the refrigerator where I could tell you the pounds, but I know I normally get them for about $10 a pack, and we have 2 of them coming there, and focusing on the size. Yep. Let me go ahead and make this quick announcement as well. Shout out to everybody in the live-a-thon. I'm gonna come back to everybody else's comments, but MGT, I always say it, MTGV, make this go viral. That's the only way I can say it. If I spell out the letters, I get tongue tied. But she's next in the live-a-thon. And for all that don't know, we have a live-a-thon to where, like I said, promoting channels. So shout out to everyone that, comes to the live-a-thons. I'm a part of the live-a-thon. This is my 9 o'clock slot every Sunday morning. And if you see the list, everybody, I will post it in a minute, showing to people everybody's spot and their time. So if you want to be a part of the live-a-thon, shout out to Dovey, shout out to Sheila and Forever Lisa, Sheila the Quiet Storm and Forever Lisa for helping Dovey with the live-a-thon. And this has been a great success for me. Actually helped me push me forward to my 500 and actually chasing 1,000 now. And hopefully get my watch hours up as well, get monetized, and start really doing more. My thing is to build a channel. I mean, I drop my cash app every now and then, just to be, because most people tend me to go ahead and do it. But my thing is more or less focusing on the content. And thanks, Dr. Dunbar, we had our discussions about that and everything. And, to an extent, a lot of people don't understand, actually providing good content is a job. You have to do research. You have to sit here and take the time out and, do things. So like I said, to an extent, for people that don't really know, this is more like a 9-to-5 job. So let me get back, slide over here to the last comment. We're back to the basics. Yeah, eating ingredients and everything. That's the main thing. It costs certain things buying groceries, because like I was telling people that there's a snack tax in Georgia. For some people that don't know, there's a snack tax in Georgia to where if you do buy snacks for the kids, a lot of it has, went up on price. And they're being taxed a little extra. Capri Suns, Cheez-Its, Goldfish, boxes of variety snacks, boxes of variety chips, variety soda, all that is being taxed, And like I say, shout out to Alonzo. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and go over that, about retirement planning. And for all that don't know, Alonzo is a licensed insurance agent and can help you. And like the Hair Club for Men, like I always say, I only just don't talk about Lonzo. I am also a client of Lonzo's. So like I said, to an extent, I mean, me and Lonzo had this discussion. If something ever happens to me, I mean, even though this YouTube thing is crazy, my sons have talked with Go Professor. My sons have seen Alonzo's video, and I've showed them this is the guy right here in my phone and throughout, to where if anything happens, if your mom don't have that paperwork down there, let's say something happened to me and your mom, this is the guy you need to talk to. One of my sons, he's real adamant about his life insurance. I'm not going to tell you all the things he say, but it's kind of funny how he looks at life. Even though he plays as a kid, he looks at life a lot more mature, like I did when I was young, even though I grew up more mature. And it's just crazy how his mindset is. The other twin, he's just living life. He's a cheerful giver. He works on himself, even though he likes the finer things in life, and eats me out of house and home. I should put up my cash out more, because all he gonna do is just eat all the profits. But yeah, shout out to everybody. Sir. But like I said, make this go viral. She's next on the live-a-thon at 10, and we're almost to that mark. So let me go ahead and get back to the business. It's 9:50 now. And, like I said, slid a little bit too far up. Yeah, I mean, giving valuable information is key. So, like I said, when I got my channel, the first one started, it was basically just a, group thing, showing my family, to a point, telling people, man, family matters. It's okay to, be a husband. It's okay to work this and do that, but to the extent you have to grow. You really do have to grow. And, shout out to everybody, that knows the process of winning and growing. you know. And let's get back to it over here. Tap the screen. All right, now this one, it was funny. You know, this is a quick little one where it was out there, and you can see the difference in this video. How people, like, I was literally looking. See that? That's the regular standard size four-wheeler. And this is the upgrade one on steroids. Any questions? And that's when I was actually. So basically, when it came down to it, I was in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and seeing that. It was like crazy. The tires on that thing, like I said, you know, some toys. It about being house poor. That's what we discussed earlier. And where do the homeless go? You know, that was one of my ones I started from Monday. Where do the homeless actually go? Because you got to understand this. When it comes down to it, a lot of people are staying in these lodges and they really don't have the money to stay in a lodge. But, you know, they're making it work. They're budgeting. And for the ones that do have the money to stay in the lodge, they can't afford an apartment as of right now because their credit is not good. You know, you're spending $400. I knew one person I was talking to spent $450 a week. $450 a week in a lodge, and to an extent, they literally had to make a deal with these people because they got paid every 2 weeks to pay that late fee on top of, you know, that every 2 weeks payment. So you're looking at close to $500 for 1 week, $450 for the next week. That was the original rate. You had to pay that $400. That $50 late charge. Some of them more than that. But to the extent it was actually crazy, you know, and going into that, I was like, man, like, what's going on? Like, the average person can't keep this up. $1,600 going into $1,700 a month. $1,700 a month for this. And I'm like, goodness gracious, like, how are you going to be able to survive? It's like, literally, how are you going to be able to survive? And, you know, let alone having issue with, you know, your surroundings, where you stay, the people, you know, in those areas, you know, up and down. Some people are out there really trying to survive. And then you have the ones that are the takers that, you know, live day to day, try to, you know, get over on people to, you know, provide for themselves, provide for their families, or just to support a habit. So, you know, that's a crazy thing, you know. And it's to the extent, you know, like, yeah, $2,000 a month, and you're staying in a one room, no studio, with a lot of space. The square footage, I mean, it's crazy small. Like, and you literally have to, you know, confine yourself into there, you know, to an extent. Mobile homes, right? Mobile homes, a lot of people don't want to stay in trailer parks, but trailer parks, you can own a trailer, rent the property. Some people sell those trailers. Some people lease out the trailers and lease out the land. So it's all to the extent of, you know, can you qualify? And that's the biggest thing for most. Qualifying for the property. Let me go ahead and drop her link for you guys, because she's next on the live-a-thon. Make this go viral. Boom, 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 boom. I got you right here. There. Let me share it one more time with the name on there so people know. All right, there we go. And, you know, like I said, you know, just in general, like, where you going to stay, where you going to go. Let me go ahead and get into this video right quick, because almost running out of time and don't want to be too late. So we can slide over there. I got about 7 minutes on here. Okay, and I got 4 minutes to go. So let me go ahead and make this quick. Shout out to Alonzo. Like I said, promoting his channel and just giving people viable information, man. All right, so let me go ahead and try to run through this quick.
Now return today with another ADH Wealth solution. Today, Junkie, your fiduciary fella, the all-star advisor Alonzo Hall, and I've returned today to whap and tap on your head with another ADH Wealth solution. Today, I want to talk about retirement planning and some of the stages that it happens in. But before I go in, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you hit the like, drop a comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're made aware every time I release new content. And as always, share. Lastly, to contribute to channel growth or to schedule a one-on-one appointment with a licensed financial professional, the links are in the description. So as we proceed to give you what you need, when it comes to retirement, it pays to start now, wherever you are in your life cycle. I'll go deeper into that in a minute. But in terms of retirement savings, younger people are usually concerned with what's in front of their faces today. And so they tend to fail to build any kind of a substantial savings. And as people age, they get more responsibilities like mortgages. But over time, the expectation is the pattern for expenses to taper off and savings to increase. Now, in order for expenses to taper and savings to increase, you have to plan for each stage of life. So, let's take a look at those stages. First, you've got ages 20 to 25. And here, with 40 years until retirement, you're thinking of living life today. You should be at a point where you're increasing, or at least looking at increasing your disposable income. Now, next, we've got 26 to 30. So you've got 35 years to go. You might focus on marital decisions, employment options, and having kids. So retirement, it's probably not high on your radar right now. So the next phase is going to be 31 to 35. You're down to 30 years on the clock, and people still assume they have lots of time left to plan. So most people here are still mainly focused on things like buying that home or multiple homes and raising a family. Most of those responsibilities are going to consume most of the family's available resources. So now next we have 36 to 40 and 25 years until retirement. So most people are still at a point where things like family obligations, like paying for college, are still a little seemingly more pressing than saving for retirement. So now we move on to ages 41 and 45, 20 years until we cross that threshold. And it's likely most people are still dealing with the expenses of things like paying for college, buying cars for the kids, paying insurance premiums for themselves, their kids, and hey, sometimes even paying insurance premiums for their parents and other major expenses and the pressure of keeping up with the Joneses, right? So, in keeping appearances with your peers, people tend to show their statuses with the newest house, the newest cars, the newest clothes, all of which are doing what? Guess what? Taking away from the abundance to save for your retirement. So now finally you've got ages 46 to 50, 15 years left, and many people finally begin to think about retirement for the first time. The kids are finally out of the house and they're out of college, and now people tend to have more money available than ever before. So at this point you would think saving for retirement would be a slam dunk. However, unexpected emergencies can derail any planning for retirement at any stage in life, but it's especially difficult at this point in your life. And it's not uncommon for a person at this stage in life to go through a multitude of different things like divorce, widowhood, unemployment, or the double surprise of their kids and their parents coming back into their household. So people in this group are usually called the sandwich generation. And why are they the sandwich generation? Because they have to care for both their parents and care for their children as dependents. So these phases can be made easier to be absorbed by looking at it as your early career, or your 20s and 30s, your mid-career, your 40s and 50s, and your late career is the late 50s and 60s. Now, that's going to be it for today, folks. So make sure you hit that like, drop a comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're made aware every time I release new content. And as always, share, share, share.
And shout out to everybody. Right now, we're going to go over here to what's going on, Grinder. Everybody's sliding over to MGTV, make this go viral. Let's go ahead and do a sneak peek. Like I'm telling y'all, come on, let's go. We finna get ready to show. And once I show the end of this clip, right here, I'm out. Okay, there we go. Shout out to the channel. We live right now. Come on. Everybody slide through.
Hello and good morning, everybody. Welcome to Make This Go Viral. I appreciate you guys coming in. Welcome to the Live-a-thon that is founded by or created by Miss Dovie Milton, and also Sheila E. and Forever Lisa is heavily involved. Their administration, that's what I call.
All right. So like I said, for everybody that's live, hit the link right now. Hit the link right now. I'm going to go ahead and drop it again and share it for people. Hit the link so we can go over here and go to the channel. Drop it again and share. There. Boom. I got 11 in the box. We're going to go ahead and slide over. There you go again for the people that are just coming in. There's the link down there at the bottom. There's the link at the bottom. Slide over. Slide over. There's the link down there. Happy birthday to you, underrated. What's going on, man? Grinder, happy birthday, happy belated to you, man. Happy belated to you. You gonna do something today? I know you probably took the day off. I ain't see you none yesterday. Go ahead and we'll hit each other up. But everybody slide over to Make This Go Viral right now. The link down there. I have the link right here. Thumb it to pin. And just all you have to do is go up there. You see it in the youtube.com. See Make This Go Viral TV 2020. So go ahead and hit that link, everybody, and slide over there. We need to go ahead and, like I say, everybody slide over to the channel right there. All right. I'm on it right now on my phone. I just hit the like button. So like I said, everybody slide over to Make This Go Viral. She's next in the Live-a-thon, next in the Live-a-thon, next in the Live-a-thon. Let's go, people. And I'm about to end this right now, giving one more chance to hit that link. And for people who don't know how to find the link, it's plain and simple. All you have to do, type in Make This Go Viral, and pops up. Once again, hit the link, hit the link, hit the link. Make this go viral. And with that being said, people, I'm about to go ahead and end this. Like always, we here and we gone.